Hello and welcome to Nintendo Nightly, your Monday through Friday source for everything Nintendo. My name is Michael Cottrell, your host, and today on the show I just want to talk about Funky Mode, the new addition to Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Nintendo Switch. This appears to be the only addition, as well as some tweaks to how hard the game is, how many hearts that you get, and I'm wondering if that's going to be customizable, but all that aside, I just want to talk about the genius of Funky Mode and how I feel like it resolves this game's biggest problem. So, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, if you're not familiar, was a Wii U title that was pretty difficult as far as platformers go. Certainly much more difficult than Mario, and just, leaps and bounds more difficult than your other games like Kirby or Chibi Robo or some of those other titles. Donkey Kong has sort of filled this new niche that Nintendo has created ever since the Wii title for a difficult platform, and I've enjoyed that a lot. It's nice to get a little diversity in how difficult Nintendo games are. They typically skew to be very easy, and I don't think that's a huge problem, but I like the option for more of a challenge. And so with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, it can be a very challenging game, a very unforgiving game if you are not very adept at platformers or haven't had much experience with the series before, and I really enjoyed that challenge. I didn't find it too incredibly difficult. I still found it very manageable to make it through to the end. I beat every level in hard mode, and I think did all the time attack things as well. There's only one level that I never beat on the game, which is beating the final boss on hard mode. I just lost the patience because it's like an 8-minute boss battle. When you lose on minute 6, it just, you get angry at life. Funky Mode is this new addition to the game that sort of creates an easy mode without it feeling too much like an easy mode, and it's sort of a treat. It's a new way to experience the game, and whether you've played it or not, you've got some new way to engage with the game. And so whether that's you want to do a speed run of the game or just an easier take on the game if it's your first time, Funky Mode is here for you. So let's talk about what Funky Kong does in addition to the rest of the Kong. So Funky Kong has his own sort of special abilities. Usually, as far as the Wii U version went, you would start with Donkey Kong alone, and Donkey Kong doesn't really have any special powers or attributes. He's just the game's normalcy. He can roll, he can jump, but he gains some new abilities whenever he gets another Kong to ride on his back. So Diddy Kong will let him hover in the air shortly, Dixie Kong will let him fly a little bit, and Cranky Kong will let him bounce on obstacles that would otherwise hurt you if you landed on, like spikes and things that are charged with electric. I think that also works with Cranky, but it's been a while since I played the game. Don't quote me on that. In any case, these partners make the game easier with Donkey Kong, but if you lose two of your hearts, you get hit twice or you fall off the edge, then you lose that partner. Funky Kong is existing in a different way, where he can breathe underwater, he can roll infinitely, he has a hover, he also has, I think, a double jump or a triple jump, and he can also land on all of these spiky exteriors without taking damage. So in addition to that, he also has 5 hearts instead of the normal 2 with Donkey Kong and 4 with the partner. So he sort of functions as the game's easy mode, and they're doing this in a way that's not, just switching levers. It's actually like a little more fun. There's this own character that you get to experience and play the game with. And so for someone like me who's already played the game, it's nice to have this mode just as a way to kind of breeze through and enjoy the game if I want a shorter play session. And I really think that these new approaches to creating an easy mode in your game and creating a diverse means of being able to engage with the game are really nice. I recently played Celeste as well on the Nintendo Switch, and what that game did well was creating an assist mode where you could customize, you can get rid of the stamina system and climb infinitely, or you can do as many boosts in the air as you want to. You can be invincible. And this easy mode and being able to toggle it on and off was a really nice way to play the game, where if there was there was one instance where my save got deleted and I was able to use that easy mode to catch back up to the point that I was, and in other instances there were just levels that I was having a lot of trouble with. There was a boss battle where I didn't understand understand that I was just supposed to like move through the stage. I thought I was supposed to beat him, and so after turning myself invincible, I realized that I was just playing the game entirely wrong. And toward the end of Celeste, I just wanted to kind of see what happened with the rest of the story, and I was kind of like done with the experience at that point. So it was nice to just be able to breeze through the last level and see the ending without having to sink the time into actually overcoming all those challenges myself, because I just would have never had the time. I hope that Funky Mode is more like this, something that you can turn on and off and kind of go in and out of. The one thing that games have yet to get right with this sort of respect is that in Celeste, when you start using assist mode, they give you this big like noob stamp to show you your save file that like you're a failure and you didn't beat it, and this long like lecture on how you shouldn't use it because it's only there for people who absolutely need it. I think there's like this weird like judgmental attitude we have in games and not being good at them or being able to beat them, and I think that's just ridiculous. I mean, you know, everybody has their specialty in games, and everybody, you know, has their weaknesses. So like, I'm terrible at games like Fortnite. I've never played them before. I'm terrible at shooters. I just don't really play shooters, but you put a platformer in my hands and I'll do much better. I'm really good at Super Smash Brothers, but really terrible at other games, and you know, that's okay. That should be okay. That should be fine, and games should kind of do a better job of accommodating to different playstyles and different skill sets, and most importantly, the most neglected group, I think, people who are just short on time and still want to experience the whole game. I dream of a day where, I don't know if it's a technological barrier or if it's just, you know, that whole mentality of like you gotta earn the ending of the game, but I'd love to be able to just skip chapters in games, not only to just skip over the lame padded parts of the game, like you think of the last wing of Wind Waker where you're having to find all the Triforce pieces. It's garbage. It's not fun. It's just a dumb fetch quest that was created to pad out the game's length so that it wouldn't be 8 hours long. And if I could just fast forward and skip that, I'd do it every time. I do it every single time. And games just don't have that option. And there's a lot of, I do understand that there's some technical hurdles of like, you know, you take Wind Waker as an example. Did you get this, you know, did you get heart pieces? Did you get these things? But, you know, we should figure out a way around that, because it would also be nice to be able to take someone and sit them down on a couch, like my wife who doesn't play video games, and show her this one part of this game that I thought was really cool, and be able to kind of like fast forward to that point. But games don't give you that option, or at least most that I play don't. So I like the direction that we're moving in with things like assist mode, with things like funky mode. I think we're definitely trending in the right direction. So I am super excited to play Tropical Freeze. I'm gonna dodge the whole debate of like, you know, its cost, how it costs more than the original version. Look, you know, it's $10. If it feels like it's worth it to you, buy it. If you don't feel like it's worth it to you, don't. I do think it's kind of ironic and funny that it costs more on the Switch than it did on the Wii U, but at the same time, I don't know. It's one of my favorite games. Definitely a step up from your typical Mario Brothers adventure, and I am really looking forward to playing it again. So if you are looking forward to playing it too and you want to purchase it, there's an Amazon link in the description that will actually give us a kickback to the show for you purchasing it. If not, you know, check out the content. I'll eventually post my thoughts on it and, you know, give you a definitive answer of whether I think it's worth it or not if you already played the Wii U version to get this one. And we'll have that discussion at a later date. But today I just wanted to commend the team working on this for Funky Mode. I think it's a fantastic addition. Can't wait to dive into it myself. And I will, you know, be sharing my thoughts with you. So thank you for tuning into Nintendo Nightly. That's all I got for you today. I will hopefully see you tomorrow with some more Nintendo news, impressions, reviews, all that fun stuff. Let me know what you're thinking about Funky Mode and Donkey Kong in general in the comments. Love to chat with you there. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video.